Have you ever asked yourself, why do we pay taxes? Why does the government take a cut of your paycheck every month? And what if I told you the US didn't always have income tax? In fact, it was once considered unconstitutional. Today, the US tax system is a multi-trillion-dollar machine that funds everything from the military to Medicare. But how did it start? Why does it work the way it does? This is the untold story of how US taxes were created and why they still operate like this. Let's rewind history, uncover secret origins, and discover how war, politics, and loopholes shaped your taxes. In the beginning, America ran without an income tax. The federal government relied mostly on tariffs, taxes on imported goods, and excise taxes, like the infamous whiskey tax. The Founding Fathers? Totally against income taxes. They saw it as too invasive, a government overreach into personal privacy. Alexander Hamilton preferred tariffs. Thomas Jefferson feared direct taxes could be a tool for tyranny. The Constitution actually restricted direct taxation unless it was divided among the states by population. But then came the Civil War. The Union needed money fast. In 1861, Abraham Lincoln signed the first federal income tax, 3% on incomes over $800. It was temporary and wildly unpopular, but it raised millions. By 1872, Congress repealed it. Americans still weren't ready to give Washington access to their wallets. Fun fact, the original IRS was called the Bureau of Internal Revenue, created in 1862 to collect the tax. In 1894, Congress tried again. They passed a flat 2% tax on incomes over $4,000. But the Supreme Court shut it down in 1895, Pollock versus Farmers Loan and Trust Company, calling it unconstitutional. This led to the 16th Amendment in 1913, giving Congress power to collect income tax without state apportionment. Now it was official. The modern IRS was taxes expanded. But World War II truly changed everything. Income tax became universal. In 1943, withholding was introduced, taxes taken directly from paychecks. The government used patriotic campaigns, taxes to fight fascism, it's your duty to pay. By 1945, over 80% of Americans paid income tax, a massive shift from pre-war numbers. As individual taxes rose, so did corporate taxes. But big business fought back, and they were clever. Loopholes, offshore havens, write-offs, deductions. The post-war corporate world hired elite accountants to minimize taxes legally. Today, companies like Amazon, Netflix, and Nike have faced scrutiny for paying $0 in federal income tax in profitable years, all using legal strategies. The result? Middle-class taxpayers often feel the burden, while corporations reduce their tax bills through creative compliance. In the 1980s, President Ronald Reagan pushed major tax reforms, simplifying brackets and slashing top rates from 70% to 28%. It was the era of trickle-down economics. In contrast, Presidents Clinton, Obama, Trump, and Biden have all left different fingerprints, changing corporate rates, increasing or cutting income tax brackets, and adding new tax credits. Trump's 2017 Tax Cuts and Jobs Act cut corporate taxes from 35% to 21%. Biden's 2022 Inflation Reduction Act introduced a 15% minimum tax on large corporations. In 2024, the U.S. collected over $4.4 trillion in taxes. But debt is rising. Political fights break out over who should pay more, the rich? The corporations? The middle class? New proposals suggest asterisk wealth taxes on billionaires, asterisk digital tax on tech companies, asterisk closing loopholes for offshore earnings. But powerful lobbying groups, especially those tied to Wall Street and big tech, push back. Meanwhile, IRS funding has been debated. In 2023, the Biden admin tried to boost enforcement, but faced opposition from Republicans claiming it would target small businesses. They reveal what kind of country we want. Do we invest in healthcare, military, infrastructure, or cut taxes and shrink the government? The U.S. tax system wasn't born perfect. It evolved through wars, court battles, lobbying, and social shifts. And it's still changing today. Next time you file your return, remember, you're participating in a centuries-old system of power, politics, and priorities. If this helped you understand America's tax system a bit better, hit like, subscribe, and share. We break down U.S. politics, economy, and history every single week.